Okay, welcome everyone. Eugene Hughes, HoustonMotorizedBicycles.com. I want to show you a little something today about carburetors. A lot of people, when they first crank up a bike, quite often will have a problem with gas leaking out of the air filter. And what it is typically is a stuck float. This is the carburetor here. You've got the carburetor bowl. One thing you can do is simply take a screwdriver and give it some good love taps, some good hard knocks, like that. Tap it a couple of times. Give that a shot. Quite often, the float will, you've got debris in there, or it's just not aligned correctly. It's been sitting up a while. There's some corrosion in there or whatever. Maybe some junk got into the inlet here where the gas line goes in. You could get some crud in there, and that's what's causing the float not to properly seal. I'm going to show you the interior of it here in just a minute here, but some good taps on it quite often will take care of the problem. You also have a little drain screw here, and you can shut your gas off at the petcock. Go ahead and loosen the drain screw here, get you some rags underneath it and collect the gas, let the gas flow out. When you drain the gas, you might get that little bit of crud out of it. Tighten the screw up, turn your gas back on, give it a couple of taps if it's still dripping. 80% of the time, that's going to take care of the problem. Occasionally, you're going to have to do some surgery on the carburetor. Obviously make it easier, remove the carburetor from the bike. You have your cable coming in here. You unscrew this piece here. Pull it out. Your cable will then pull the throttle slide out. I'm going to do this on another carburetor and show you how it works here. So you unscrew the cap here, you pull the throttle slide out. Here is the needle, but once you have the throttle slide, the cable in, the throttle slide will come out. You have the needle, which goes into the throttle slide here. Get it in the right hole. Okay, so you have the needle here. And notice when you remove the throttle slide from the carburetor, right here where the gas line goes in, there's a little pin. And that pin goes into the body of the carburetor here, and that pin, it acts as a guide on your throttle slide. So that way there's only one way you can put the throttle slide back in. So pay attention when you remove it. You want to make sure that you're going to put it back in the same way. So we've got and you have the clamp here, the screw here, loosen the screw here, twist your carburetor side to side, pull it out of the bike. So now you have your carburetor here, and you are ready to go ahead and remove the carburetor bowl with a Phillips screwdriver. Do this on a clean working surface, because your task here is to remove dirt from the carburetor, not introduce dirt. So go ahead and get the second screw off. Once you do that, you will then remove the carburetor bowl. It comes right off. It will have gas in it, so be careful. So inside of the carburetor bowl, you have your float. If you notice that the float has gas, liquid in it, then that's there's your problem there. So you might have a crack in the float. You might have to put some JB weld on it, or go ahead and just get you another carburetor float, get you another carburetor if need be. So how this works here is the carburetor float pushes on this brass piece here, and that brass piece has a pin on it that blocks the flow of gas coming in. The problem is we don't have a good seal between the pin and the seat here in the gas inlet. So we can determine either A, you have dirt in there, or this piece here needs adjustment, and it's fairly easy to adjust. You can just put your thumb on it here and lift up a little bit, not much, just a little bit here, about maybe 1/8 of an inch, bend it up, and what that will do is make the float put more pressure on it sooner as the gas level rises. And of course, if your carburetor is not mounted horizontally, that is, you have it at too much of an angle, you're going to have a problem with your float not operating correctly. You need that carburetor bowl to be somewhat close to level with the ground. So if it's at an extreme angle, there may be your problem there. You may need to alter your intake to ensure that your carburetor is level. But let's go ahead and assume that we need to go ahead and clean it. The piece that rests against the seat, here you pull this pin out, and don't throw it on the ground like I did, and then you have this piece here. What this piece here does is it seats there. If you notice that you have gum or varnish inside of your carburetor bowl, I recommend get you some carburetor cleaner. If you go ahead and do this task, go ahead and hit everything with some carburetor cleaner. Be careful, this here is under a fairly high pressure here, and you can get some overspray and it'll spray in your eyes. You do not want to get this stuff in your eyes, and just a drop or two on your skin, it will start to burn. So wear you a face mask, a face shield, glasses, whatever. Be very careful. You do not want to get this stuff into your eyes. So go ahead and spray carburetor cleaner here in the inlet here. Spray it over the point here of the pin that seats against it. Clean everything out. Clean your carburetor bowl out. Make sure your float is clean. Once you have everything cleaned up, it's time to go ahead and reassemble it. You're going to put the pin into the hole here where the seat is. We then have to put this pin back into the body of the carburetor. I now have it aligned here. We're going to push the pin in. We've got good operation here. Now I bent the two tabs here up. I'm going to push it back down a little bit here to get it back where it was. We're ready to go ahead and put our clean carburetor bowl back into position here. Tighten up your two screws here. Put them back in. Be sure and use your lock washers here. Put your throttle slide here with the cable. Put it back in. Remember the pin here that's on the body right here by the gas inlet needs to match with the groove cut in the throttle slide. Put everything back together again and you should be on the road. If it still leaks after that, you may want to give it another shot. Maybe go ahead and bend those little tabs down on the float assembly here, on the brass piece that holds the pins. The more you bend the tabs down, the sooner the gasoline shuts off, and it'll give it a better seal here. Make sure that, once again as well, that your float doesn't have a crack in it and you don't have liquid in it. If it does, you need to get all the liquid out. You need to seal the crack. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed, give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Click like if you like it and click subscribe. Thanks for watching.